welcome to what very well may be the most unusual edition of this program you will ever see.
Hey.
Hello, ladies and gents. And, my God, is that a straight one? Didn't think so. Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Valerie Venom, the poison-tongued host with the most biting commentary on the airwaves. Grab your popcorn and your throwing tomatoes. We're about to have some real talk with tonight's trouble has been. If you'd have long since forgotten the name Ella Grant, I wouldn't blame you. No, she isn't dead, unfortunately, but she sure is acting like it. In case you need a refresher, here it is. At 17, the hot mess herself started off on the right side of politics before she left that side of the pundit community, before fading into obscurity altogether. Never before have the reasons behind her disappearance been revealed, so we decided to ask her ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Miss Ella Grant. She's ready to get wrecked. I'm Valerie Venom. I don't shake hands.
You shook my hand in the green room like 10 minutes ago.
Well, this is my show, and I don't shake hands on it. Know your place, sweaty. Don't get it twisted. Sit down. So, this is your first appearance in nearly a year. Is there anything you want to say?
Surprise. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
Cute.
Thanks, you too.
Are you drunk?
Is there a problem with that? No, I'm just weird.
Well, at least one of us said it. Now, I'm sure everyone around here has been wondering where you've been. No, you smell like Jack.
Well, actually, it's Drambuie.
Actually, it's noon. Now, I'm not against getting a boost of some kind, but I only drink Diet Coke.
Yeah, right, you junkie.
Shut up. The press touts your diet as being speed, weed, and booze. And benzos. Breakfast of champions. Psst. What? Your Coke drip is leaking. Wait, shit, is it actually? Anyways, my point is, well, I don't even know where to start with you.
Me neither.
Let's start in the beginning, shall we? What drew you to the political community in the first place?
Well, it all started in 2016.
Okay, so you've never heard of a non-binary gender before, and out of nowhere, someone tells you that they're non-binary. What exactly does that mean? And is it even a real thing? Yeah, yes it is. Sorry, that was a really bad cliffhanger. Non-binary genders are real, even though they've only gained public visibility relatively recently. A non-binary gender is essentially a gender that is not strictly woman or... But to figure out what I mean by that, we have to talk about what gender is. So when it comes down to it, gender is how you feel and...
Ella here, talk to me.
Stella, Ella, Ola, clap, clap, clap.
Gee, I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, I bet. You ready for the test tomorrow?
God, I'm so not you.
Fat chance. I totally choked on the pop quiz. What you doing?
Yeah, no, I need to take a breather. I'm watching some trash TV.
Same here. I wanted to relax, so I don't know what possessed me to put on Briley Dennis.
Don't even get me started. I mean, she's got a couple valid points, but I think they've lost me.
Yeah, I don't know what trans people are on these days, but it's not just hormones and blockers, that's for sure.
No kidding. The community has been getting crazier and crazier the last couple years. Meanwhile, we're just trying to fly under the radar as much as possible and not get beat up. Or worse. It worries me.
Yeah, and we get all this backlash and stigma on the net because these nutcases are our public faces. You know, I heard about this one trans chick south of the border, Blair something, who can supposedly make heads or tails of all this.
Do you know her channel?
No idea.
She's not on the sticker.
And what you're seeing today is just people finding the language to describe how they feel.
Hello, little buns. As a trans girl,
Hey guys, my name is Chase.
and it's time for your weekly dose of truth tea. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit annoyed to be making this video. I think it's absolutely tragic. So I have to make a video proclaiming something as obvious and as apparent as the fact that there are only two genders, but in case you haven't been paying attention, life has really dwindled down to the point where it's necessary to say things like this. So here we go. So the reason I'm talking about this is because...
Did you have an epiphany or something?
A little bit. I'm gonna call you back, okay?
Word, see you in class, eh?
See ya.
It was in that moment that something changed dramatically within me, and I had a series of important realizations.
So I'm not the only one who feels this way. Wait, I know how to make videos. The internet needs my help. But first, I have to do my homework.
That year, 11th grade, I had a full timetable of audio video classes, which was great, but once the year was up, I found I was just so bored without them, and I wanted to create something. But what?
Disappointment in the hearts of everyone who's ever had the displeasure of watching you?
No, that came later. I knew I'd taken an interest in politics during the school year, so 13 days after I turned 17, I had the bright idea to set up a camera and film my first video, and the rest is history. Suddenly, my little fan base was growing.
Like a tumor? Didn't you, used to be an SJW?
Yes and no. My parents were left-wing and raised me that way, but I hadn't seriously considered or questioned any of that until high school. Up until that point in 2016-17, I was much more involved in the trans community and their politics, but high school was more about figuring out my own. The SJW fashion moment everyone knows about mostly just happened because I couldn't afford to be a real goth.
Oh yeah, you were emo too, right?
We do not speak of it. Where did you find that?
Facebook.
Snake.
Hey, no one calls me a snake.
Your last name is literally Venom. Why shouldn't people call you a snake?
Because I trademarked it.
Snakey, snaky, snaky. Snaky, snaky, snaky. Snaky, snaky, snaky. Snaky, snaky, snaky.
You stop that.
Snake.
I need a cigarette. Hopefully we'll be back on topic after the break.
Snake.
Will you shut up? Welcome back to Real Talk. I'm Valerie Venom, and I'm stuck in this interview with Trana Del Rey over here.
Did you know that her and I have the same last name?
Wait, actually?
Yep, her last name's Grant. Look it up. I'm Ella Grant, by the way. Thank you.
Where were we? Ah, yes. So there you were, busy being your mildly Aspergic, cross-dressing teenage self when suddenly you got red-pilled, went all political, started a YouTube channel, fell off the wagon, and ultimately wound up on my show, which says more about you if I'm being honest, but down the line, something about you changed off screen. I mean, I knew that you were shill the whole time.
Well, that's not true.
That was a very funny joke. You should tell another one.
I'm being serious.
Hey Mel, dim the lights. She said she's being serious.
No, Mel, don't dim the lights. Even back then, I knew that I was still a teenager and my values were still changing. This has always been my stance, and I'd always been comfortable with the fact that my videos would one day become time capsules of my point of view. I understand that my politics will continue to change and evolve as I get older and absorb more experience. It was the beginning of me figuring out my own values going into adulthood, which is something everyone goes through, I suppose. The difference is that I made the mistake of doing it in front of an audience. And the disappearance from my channel was because I wasn't sure how to move on from being self-typecast as this Blair Light trad wife character for so long. It's not who I am anymore off-screen. If I did move on, what would happen to the channel? How would the comment section feel? Would they be supportive? Would they grab pitchforks?
I think pitchforks are a great idea. God, those were the days when you actually crossed people's minds from time to time.
It was never about that. I'd always wanted to do something based on creativity, but I chose the most claustrophobic genre. It was turning me into someone else, and I didn't like who I was becoming.
And who would that be? Tell me everything. This might be the juiciest gossip I've ever heard.
In all honesty, I didn't want to turn out like you, Valerie. Sure, you've got your snappy outfit and your snazzy set and your adoring audience that greets every word you say with thunderous applause no matter how horrible they are. I know, just like me, that you started with nothing but creativity, and by shaking up the formula, you struck gold, which I respect. But I also know you must spend countless hours glued to the TV set hunting for the next poor soul to exploit for views. Maybe you're young and insecure and in way over your head, but to the rest of us, you're the meanest woman on television, and I want to ask you, how does that make you feel?
Icky. It feels icky.
You're right. It does feel icky. I didn't like it, so I stopped.
But what can I do?
Stop living on video. Don't forget to work on figuring out who you are, regardless of your age. It's never too late to change, Valerie.
Abandon this toxicity and focus on the things you love before your heart's dead. All right. We should probably get back on topic. So, what were your main qualms with the political community itself?
I realized quickly that perhaps the reason I felt so at home was that I was a literal teenager who fit right into a bunch of adults who honestly kind of acted like teenagers. There are exceptions, people I still love dearly. Barbara, London, Emmett, Ready to Glare, all wonderful people. And Bunty.
Do I detect a hint of drama?
A hint? If you think TikTokers and beauty gurus stir up the most drama, political YouTube will give you a run for your money because politics is basically high school drama for grown-ups. The majority of the content has remained trapped in 2016. Even though the world has become a more serious place and a much more hostile environment, they're still talking about attack helicopters. And I don't want to be tied to that camp creatively or bound to it because I've changed so much in the years since. That's all.
So, let me get this straight. Is this you disavowing your past political content?
I knew it would come to this. The videos... I'm proud of the fact that my little creative endeavor brought me any success at all, especially at that age. As for the politics themselves, I don't think it's uncommon to go through changes as you grow up. Like, weren't you in some god-awful goth band to rebel against your parents before you came to your senses?
Yeah, they sure hated that. God, it's been so long. Why did you have to remind me? I wish someone would have just cut the power, taken the mic away from me.
You know, that's exactly how I feel, and I can't explain it more than that. I'm not sure if teenage ignorance is a defense in the court of public opinion, but it's the truth.
We have time for one more question. Do you see yourself ever returning to politics?
To be honest, yes. Whenever something catches my eye and it sparks an idea, I consider it. And one day, one of those ideas might catch fire, but it shouldn't be the other way around. Having a great idea first and then searching for some current event to contort it to. As for disappearing for a year, mental health is another can of worms. I'm back, but things will be different, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. We'll unpack you being drunk at noon and disappearing for a year another time, okay? Look, I know things are tough right now, but they'll improve someday.
Don't make promises you can't keep. That box.
That box? What about it? It's just set deck.
Where did you get it?
What do you mean, where did I get it? I'd never noticed it before until you pointed it out. I mean, there is something in there. But it's locked. Full of secrets, I suppose. And I doubt anyone has the key.
The box, please.